A full next-gen Xbox is reportedly coming in 2027, along with a first-party Xbox handheld. But wait, there's a third-party Xbox handheld coming this year? There's a lot to dig in on the next-gen console watch coming up right now. Welcome back to Next Gen Console Watch, our show following the latest gaming hardware. I'm Daemon Hatfield, and this week I'm joined here in studio by Ryan McCaffrey, host of Podcast Unlocked.
Hey, Daemon. Good to see you
in person. He's here in LA for a game preview you want to look out for in the near future.
It's Doom.
Oh, well, there you go. And IGN's executive editor of tech, Bo Moore, joins us once again. What's up, Bo?
Hey, Daemon.
And this week we got a report from Windows Central alleging a full next-gen Xbox is planned for 2027 and an Xbox-branded gaming handheld is due out later this year. So as for this next-gen Xbox, Windows Central said it is fully greenlit by Microsoft's CEO. The console is reportedly a premium successor to the Xbox Series X, and this console, alongside a first-party Xbox gaming handheld and new controllers, are set to round out Microsoft's console offering in 2027. Windows Central expects the next-gen Xbox will be more like a PC than any Xbox before it, and will support third-party storefronts such as Steam, the Epic Game Store, and Good Old Games. So, Ryan, first off, Microsoft is having a hard time selling consoles now.
Yeah.
It had a hard time last generation.
Yeah.
How can they get people excited about buying Xbox hardware again?
By making it more like a PC and making it an attractive, more affordable alternative to a gaming PC. If it's a console that sort of functions like a PC, especially if, I guess the report suggested might be possible connecting to Steam, Epic Game Store. If that stuff comes to fruition and Microsoft can pull that off, and suddenly you've got a device that is a PC set-top box that can play all your PC games, including, by the way,
I know where you're going with this.
PlayStation games that are published on PC.
Yeah.
Then that would be pretty cool. I mean, does it replace a dedicated high-end gaming PC? No, obviously not. That's you're talking $2-3 grand for something like that, and I'm sure this console would be in the $700-ish range, because that's where the PS5 Pro is priced now. But yeah, it's an interesting strategy, and one that I think makes a lot of sense, because as we've talked about on the show before, they've already they've lost the battle. They've lost the console war. They lost 30+ million not subscribers, 30 customers from the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One, and they've never gotten those people back. So, all right, if they want to instead just go where the gamer is, they're obviously putting their games on a lot of platforms now, including PlayStation, then just say, hey, all right, if you want a PC like Xbox where that can also play your Steam games, great. If you want a handheld as a either supplement to that, or maybe for some people they even decide they're going to get the PlayStation 6 and then just the Xbox handheld as a way to play games that Microsoft puts out, that could work too. And for more diehards like me, that I have one Xbox, it's a Series X because it's all I need. Well, if the handheld comes along and it's potentially a Series S like entry-level replacement, well, suddenly I'm going to want two Xboxes, because I'm going to want the handheld that I can take with me on the go and pick up my cloud saves and my achievements and when I'm traveling. So there's a lot about this that makes a lot of sense for Microsoft, I think.
Let's talk about these handhelds. They have multiple handheld devices planned, apparently. The actual one that Xbox will make is reportedly coming in 2027 alongside the next-gen console.
Yeah.
But the one that's supposed to come this year is, I believe, going to be Xbox branded but made by third parties. So in January, Jason Ronald, Microsoft's VP of Next Generation, which is a pretty cool title, by the way, told The Verge that the company plans to combine Xbox and Windows experiences together for PC gaming handhelds made by original equipment manufacturers, or OEMs. Bo, can you break this down for us? I'm having a hard time understanding why Xbox would want third-party Xbox-branded handhelds, and who the market might be for that.
Yeah, so, I mean, Xbox-branded equipment has existed in many forms already. You know, there are controllers and headsets and other devices that are officially Xbox licensed products And usually that just means that it has the particular Xbox wireless standard that's proprietary. It'll maybe have an Xbox button so that it'll function, with the things. It's kind of the difference between having a controller that has an Xbox button and an Xbox layout versus just a generic PC controller. But to kind of extrapolate that out to a handheld, like basically I could imagine seeing something like the Asus ROG Ally or the Lenovo Legion Go Xbox edition. And yeah, it's basically the same device. The internals are pretty much the same as what's already on the market, unless, there's an update between now and whenever this thing comes out. But it'll have an Xbox button, and it will have the layout that works straight out of the box with Xbox games. And then the other key factor is I think that there will be an additional sort of compatibility layer, maybe either a launcher or a UI skin, something that makes the handheld experience more Xbox-like. Basically the Xbox equivalent of the Steam Deck. Mm-hmm. But the difference there is that it will still have Windows as the core experience underneath the hood, that you probably will still be able to get to the Windows desktop and install whatever you want. But when you just power it up, you'll probably be in some type of Xbox UI.
Is there a potential that could confuse the market if the third party or the original equipment manufacturer's handheld is out this year, 2 years before Microsoft's own device? Is it? I think they have to be careful with their messaging here.
Maybe. I mean, it's a good way for them to test the water, assuming that this report's true. And they've got good sources over there, so I do put my trust in the report. It's a chance for Microsoft to learn, like, hey, let's put this thing out. Let's see what our market's looking like. What can we learn from this in terms of who to market to and what features to lean into on the hardware side, on the software side, because it's when it comes to 2027 and their own in-house developed and manufactured handheld device, the stakes are a lot higher for that. They can't, they're not going to want to get that wrong on the hardware. I mean, the software side you can correct over time. The hardware side you really can't. So I think it does make sense for Microsoft to just dip their toe in the water with an OEM, with a partner here, to just like kind of mitigate the risk a little bit, and also, like I said, just learn a lot from what might happen. And plus, the device that comes out this year won't be as powerful as what Microsoft will ship in 2 years, so it'll still give people that buy this year's device a reason to upgrade in 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Getting back to the main new, the next-gen Xbox for 2027, Bo, do you agree with Ryan's prediction that it'll be, probably not less than $700?
Yeah, it seems like, 700 through either, obviously PlayStation came out with that and sort of set the new bar, and now that's everything that we're saying. But, between inflation and just the way prices of consumer tech have gone over the last couple of years, it seems like 700 is a price point that the market is accepting for that kind of premium level. I would assume that this is, again, we're talking about the high-end replacement, the Series X replacement. And so, yeah, whether or not the Series S goes away entirely, or if it's, like Ryan said, replaced by this handheld, or maybe the Series X just kind of becomes the more budget level, and so maybe we're looking at something like a $300 to $400 Series X, and then a $700 Series X2 or Series Y, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I think we're probably looking at a pretty premium point, especially if Xbox is not doing a PS5 Pro equivalent. Like, they're not doing a Pro model this time, so this 2027 console kind of is their Pro model, and it'll be going up against the $700 PS5 Pro. Ideally, I'm assuming they're going to be trying to beat the PS5 Pro by quite a bit, because it'll have another 2 years of development behind it.
Okay, question for both of you. Will this new Xbox ship with a disk drive?
No,
Probably
I think we're
not.
done. We talked about this on a recent episode. I just don't see it the way, especially if it's a more PC-like device.
Sure. Yeah.
When was the last time you saw a freshly built gaming PC by either an OEM or just somebody at home building their own that's actually had and made use of a disk drive in it? It's over when it comes to that, I think.
Yeah. You agree, Bo?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, if it's a PC, like the last PC that I built, actually, I don't think I've ever built a PC with a disk drive, and I've been building PCs for 10 or 15 years at this point. And yeah, like Ryan said, it's just the standard on PC that nobody uses disks. If you truly want one, they probably will maybe still sell, a third party, not third party,
an
but
external,
an external disk drive for the people who do really want to have the physical media and who still want to use it as a DVD player or something. But at this point, who even is buying DVDs, or everything is streaming?
Yeah. Well, Ryan, you've been covering Xbox for a long time. Does this, the reported plans here, does it excite you? Does it instill you with confidence for the next few years for Xbox?
I don't know. I guess I'm intrigued by them zagging here, because odds are, who knows, but odds are Sony is going to stay the course and stick to a more traditional console evolution, because why wouldn't they? It's worked tremendously for them over the last 2 generations. But Microsoft, as Phil Spencer's own words, they lost the most important generation to lose, which was the last one, the Xbox One, PS4 generation. And they've got to go in another direction, and they're leaning into just being a massive, like the world's largest games publisher by acquiring all these companies and putting those games out on all kinds of platforms. And they're betting on something I do think is a sound bet, which is that the younger generation, they don't have the platform tribalism that our generation does. The younger generation just wants to play games on whatever device is closest to them, whether it's a phone, a handheld PC, a console, or a desktop, gaming PC. So in that sense, I think Microsoft is on the money. I mean, Microsoft's made huge bets before, going all the way back to the original Xbox, when they shipped an Ethernet port in the original machine and said, we're going to launch a broadband-only premium paid online gaming service in the days when broadband gaming was not at all the standard, and 56K dial-up was the standard, and they shipped a hard drive in that when no other game console manufacturer had ever shipped a hard drive in a machine before, and they put it to good use, and that's now a standard thing. And so Microsoft is no stranger to taking now, they don't always work. Kinect didn't work. I mean,
literally, or
well,
has the
yeah,
business plan.
yeah. I've reviewed enough games. My first ever review for IGN, Steel Battalion Heavy Armor, a game that almost literally didn't work at times. I think I gave it a 4. I think that was my introduction to the IGN audience. Hi, I'm giving this Xbox game a 4. But anyway, yeah, I am intrigued, is the short answer to your question. I have no idea what Sony will do. Like Bo was suggesting, like, will this come out at the same time as PlayStation 6? Will it come out a year earlier? It's the one time Microsoft went early, it worked out really well for them. I mean, that wasn't the only reason that the 360 worked. Of course, it's all about the games, but they had the support. So if they can get all their software out the door on a consistent bit, which we're starting to see, from the fall of last year, they had 3 major exclusives at the end of last year, and what they've already mapped out for us. We've already got Avowed, we've got South of Midnight coming, Doom, which is multi-platform, but it'll be Game Pass. Like, they're starting to finally deliver software. So if they can keep doing that for the next few years, they can maybe build themselves some momentum into whatever this next PC-like generation is going to be.
It definitely would be a zag, as you say, if they had a PC-like Xbox, plays all Xbox games, plays all your Steam games, plays any PlayStation game that comes to PC, not to mention what the emulation possibilities that are provided by the PC platform. All it couldn't do basically is play the new Nintendo exclusives and brand new PlayStation exclusives. Yeah. So, Bo, does it sound like a smart move to you?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it really just feels like kind of just an evolution of what Xbox has already been doing. It's been years now since Xbox rolled out the strategy of having all of their first-party games day one on both Xbox and PC. And not just that, you can buy it in one place and it plays on both. It's not on Steam, but it's like you get the Microsoft Windows version of it. And that's pretty cool to have the same thing. You can cloud save between them. So this is just taking that a step further and bringing in the rest of the PC audience. But there's one kind of killer feature that we don't talk about a lot, but the Xbox, the Series X, has a killer feature already that I feel like just went totally unnoticed, and it's quick resume. And I would love to see quick resume brought to
you're going with this.
PC, basically, to PC or to a handheld. And that, I think, this is pure speculation, so I don't know if this is even physically possible by the development process. But what I would love to see is a system where, we already have cloud saves and then we have quick resume. I want to see those two things merged, where I could be playing a game on my Xbox handheld, I can suspend it, and not just suspend it in the way of save and quit out and then cloud sync it, pick it up, but literally just suspend it in the quick resume manner, where I can, middle of a boss fight without saving, just pause it on the dot, suspend that, pick that up on a different platform, on a PC or on an Xbox console, your Series X replacement, whatever, and have it pick up at that exact same spot. That would be a killer feature that I think would really shake up it would give me a reason to get this Xbox branded handheld, as opposed to just whatever the next Steam Deck or ROG Ally or whatever.
Yeah,
that'd be sweet.
I like the sound of that. Well, dear viewers, we want to know, considering all this, where do you think you'll be playing Xbox games in 5 years? On a next-gen Xbox, on a PC, on an Xbox handheld, or will you just be playing Xbox games on a PlayStation console as they're released, or even on a Nintendo console? Make sure to vote at IGN.com in this poll the day this episode goes live. We'll share the results with you next week, just like we can with last week's episode. We were talking about all these games that are missing in action. We asked, which of these MIA games do you think will be released first? And the results here are a little bit suspect. I think maybe this is more of a popularity contest than an actual which game do you think will be released first. With 50% of the vote was Wolverine, but then coming in at number 2 was the Knights of the Old Republic remake, which is definitely in development hell. Then The Wolf Among Us 2, which last we heard there was no one left at Telltale to even make that game. Then Beyond Good and Evil 2. Then John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. And then in last place, Ryan, is Replaced.
A game that is actually going to come out.
A game that you've played.
Yeah, I've played it.
That's in last place. So I think maybe this is just more of a popularity contest here and people wanting Wolverine to come out first, which I totally understand. I get that. Okay, I want to give you a heads up that the IGN store is doing a big Merch Madness sale. Again, It starts today. It goes through March 17th. It's going to be our biggest sale of the year. Lots of discounts on apparel, collectibles, Fallout stuff, etc. So just make sure to check out the IGN store for that. Next Gen Console Watch is an IGN production. It's part of the Geek Media Network. Ryan, what's going on Podcast Unlocked this week?
I don't know. I was here doing
handed it off.
Doom stuff. Yeah, but it's in good hands with Miranda and Michael. No, they talked about this topic extensively. That we're this report from Windows Central about the next generation Xbox plans, and I'm really looking forward to hearing what they have to say about it.
Can you share when your Doom thoughts are about them? Okay. Sometime.
That's one of the things I can't say, but yes.
Sometime in the near future. Please be excited to that. Thank you to both Ryan and Bo for joining me today. Thank you to everyone working behind the scenes to make this episode possible. My name is Daemon. We'll be back next week with more on the latest gaming hardware. We'll see you then. This episode of Next Gen Console Watch was produced by yours truly, Damon Hatfield and Jobert Atienza. Technical direction is by Jobert Atienza, with technical production by Marian Franzen and Amir Rakib. Audio engineering is handled by Amir Rakib. Post-production editing is by Jobert Atienza, and graphic design is by Justin Vachon. Next Gen Console Watch is an IGN production and part of the Geek Media Network.